again. I told you that the metagenomic read mapping service was really fast, and it is. It's already returned our jobs. So let's take a look. Now, before we've talked about different ways to get to jobs, like we've navigated through the workspace, but we've gone to my jobs here, but generally I go to my jobs right down here. And you can see metagenome binning, which I submitted before these, that's taking some time, but metagenomic read mapping is done. So these are for the antimicrobial resistance genes, and it was comparing the reads to the comprehensive antibiotic resistance database. So let's click on this and then click on the view icon. And it shows us that, well, here's the job ID. This is how long it took to run, which was 7 minutes and 47 seconds. And if you opened the parameters, it would show you did these two read files, which were zipped reads, and we compared them to the CARD database. Then you see that these are some of the files that come with the metagenomic read mapping service, which is a report and then a bunch of KMA files. KMER means K-mer alignment. A KMER is a piece of text or sequence that's length K, I believe it's 31. In this instance, that it's looking for reads, looking for good mapping against that length. So I never open any of these things. I always open the metagenomic read mapping HTML. So we click on that, and then we can click on the view icon in the green action bar, and it opens up the report. And let's move this here so we can see more real estate for it. There's the job ID. It's telling me the reads that I ran. It's telling you that you went against CARD, and it's using KMA. And if you click on this, it'll take you to the reference. And so the reference genes are shown as template, and the input reads are shown as query. So you can see that this is the CARD gene. This is its function, 16S ribosomal RNA conferring resistance to tetracycline in this particular genome that it's found in. This is the score, the expected, the template length of the gene. Remember, template is in the reference. So it's 1,486 base pairs long. The identity when compared to the query is 76.85. It's 87% coverage. And in the query, it's 87% ID, and that is the query coverage. And so then it gives you a p-value. And it also tells you the depth of the reads. So these are pretty good hits. Every one of these I looked through it earlier is 1 to e to the 26th. This is 2.7 times e to the first. But anyhow, you can look through this list. I noticed that there are a lot of these multi-drug efflux pump genes from E. coli in here that are coming through. There's one, there's another, there's another. So that's something you might be interested in. Let me point this out. I think a lot of people get confused with this particular service, and it's showing you that there are genes of interest, but that doesn't mean anything. Is this guy really resistant to tetracycline? We don't know that yet. There are certain mutations within this particular gene that might confer resistance or susceptibility to tetracycline. This is just to show you genes that you might need to look at, but it's up to you to dig deeper to see if the specific mutations that confer either of those phenotypes are present in this gene. This just lets you know the gene is here, but you can't go any further than that. You have to dig on your own. This one is not going to tell you that. So this is the one for antimicrobial resistance. Let's look at the one for virulence factors. So I'm going to click on jobs again. And there's the one through the VFDB, the virulence factor database. Click on view. Looks exactly the same, except this time it was a different database. So I click on that row and then the view icon, and it's showing me, it looks very similar, doesn't it? And this is looking at the specific virulence factors that are present. And you can see that there are a number of secretion systems for E. coli, and we know from the taxonomic classification service that E. coli was like 15% of the reads. So it's interesting to see all of these hits to E. coli virulence factors in here. So these are just some of the things that you can look at with this service. I use it as a starting point for digging deeper on things. I would never say, oh, my genome's resistant to tetracycline, or oh, it's got this particular pore protein. I want to compare that to published data to see if it really is the thing I need to be concerned about. So it's pretty short, it's pretty sweet. You should be able to run it easily, and I hope that you do. And we've got to see our metagenomic binning results, right? So join me for that as soon as it finishes. Thanks a lot. Bye.